Welcome to TEKNXS, a place where future financiers come to inspire. In today's video, we will discuss a very interesting concept. Today's topic is how life will be in a cashless society. Let's begin. Let's start with the fact of what actually the cashless society is. A cashless society is an economic state in which transactions are not in the form of banknotes or coins. The transaction is through digital information between the two users. Cashless society exists from the start of human society in different forms. These types were barter systems and other forms of exchange. Bitcoin made it possible to make a cashless transaction in the present era. But we're going to discuss a society where digital transactions will take place instead of money exchange. These transactions will be carried out through electronic and digital currencies. Nowadays, the use of digital currencies and records is increasing day by day. Many transactions and matters now take place digitally rather than the physical exchange of money. In some countries, there are limits to using electronic currency and transactions. Now we see problems that are hurdles in the way of a cashless society. Awareness and education. Many countries suffer from illiteracy and poverty. The result is that the majority of the population is not aware of digital forms of transactions. Also, training is not enough. Many people are not really educated, so they can easily believe in rumors. High-speed connectivity. The availability of high-speed internet is a problem in many countries. Even some parts of the world do not have enough electric supply. So it's impossible to make digital transactions with these problems. In the absence of internet connectivity, people will not be able to make easy transactions, so they will prefer physical cash. Loss of freedom. The government cannot force individuals to make digital transactions. If the government does so, it will be a loss of freedom. Everyone in society is free to use either cash or digital currency. No one can be forced to have bank accounts or digital currency. The government can incentivize one form to another. They cannot implement forcefully. They cannot make people adopt only one model of the transaction. Extending credit to the unworthy. The last problem with providing CREST cards to many people is that all the members of society do not deserve credit. If everyone has a credit card, this may cause a lot of useless spending. The taxpayer will need to pay up the bill. Credit must only be provided to those who deserve it. There should be no interference from the government in this matter. If we take into account these problems, it seems a distant dream to have a cashless economy. Especially in developing countries. The lack of infrastructure makes it nearly impossible. Now we see the pros and cons of a cashless society. Those economies with technological abilities will find it convenient to take advantage of a cashless society. In a cashless society, if you have your mobile phone in your hand, you have access to every cash holdings. Some benefits are lower crime rate. If you are carrying cash, you're an easy target for criminals. A thief can steal your money easily. When it gets transferred to the thief's wallet from yours, it will be very difficult to track and find it. By chance, if you track and find it, it will be very difficult to prove your ownership. In a case study, it was found that crime in Missouri dropped by 9.8% when the state replaced cash with electronics benefit transfer cards. Automatic paper trails. Financial crimes will also dry up in a cashless society. All kinds of illegal transactions, such as gambling or drug operations, take place through cash. Criminals take advantage of no evidence in case of cash transfer. So, money without a record is easy to launder. Money laundering becomes difficult if the source of funds is recognizable. It's hard to hide the income and beware of tax when every transaction of receiving money is recorded. Cash management costs money. Do you think cash is free from cost? No. When banknotes are printed, there is a cost involved. The same is the case with coins and bills. Every business needs to store the money, need more when it lacks, and deposit cash when too much is available. A lot of time and resources are required to make these transfers and protection. In a cashless society, there will be no need for such hassle. International payments. If we travel from one country to another, there will be a need to exchange dollars with the local currency. But if you are traveling in a country where cashless payments are widely acceptable, there will be no need for such hassle. You will not need to worry about exchange rates and withdrawals. Instead of this, your mobile device will perform all the functions for you. Disadvantages of a cash-free world. Depending upon your situation and state, being cashless might be more problematic than advantageous. Here are some drawbacks associated with a cashless society. Digital transactions sacrifice privacy. Electronic payments are not private. You may trust organizations that handle your data. You might not have anything to hide, merely most of the personal information these organizations require. But the more information you are transferring to online resources, the more risky your data privacy is. Your information can go in malicious hands, so those people who steal your information can put you in trouble. Cash allows you to send and receive money without revealing your information. Cashless transactions are exposed to hacking risks. Hackers are the bank robbers of the electronic world. In a cashless society, there is more chance of attack by hackers. If a hacker makes you a target and drains your account, you will not have an alternative to spend money. Even with the security laws, you will not be safe. After a breach, it's very difficult to restore digital currency. In this way, you may lose all of your finances within no time. Also, its recovery will be very difficult with additional costs. Technology problems could impact your access to funds. Glitches, outages, and mistakes can also cause problems. If some errors occur, you will not be able to buy your needs at a certain time. Like if some error takes place in the system, merchants will not be able to accept the payments. A small system malfunctions can create complicated, unsolvable problems. Even if your phone battery is dead, you are penniless. Economic inequality could become exacerbated. Poor and unbanked will face a harder time in a cashless society. If smartphones are a way to transact money, what about people who cannot afford to buy a smartphone? In poor countries, this situation may get even worse. An experiment is done in the UK. They introduced contactless ways to donate to charities and homeless people. These efforts are not enough yet. Until now, the major source of donations is cash. Payment providers could charge fees. If some economy allows only some specific apps to make transactions, it will become standard. In this way, a monopoly of developers will be created. So, they may apply a subscription fee. These charges may be of huge volume and unaffordable. The temptation to overspend may increase. When you spend with cash, it's easy to spend in a controlled way. We quickly recognize the financial impact we will face after spending. In the case of electronic payments, it's easy to swipe, tap, or click. We may not notice how much we are spending. Consumers should have a clear strategy to manage to overspend. Negative interest rates could be passed on to customers. Countries with negative interest rates can have more effect on consumers. Some countries face the impact of negative interest rate like Denmark, Switzerland, Japan. The International Monetary Fund states the fact that negative interest rates reduce bank profit. Banks apply fees to customers to overcome this deficit. At present, banks can pass only a limited amount of deficit to consumers. Because if the bank will overcharge, people will take their money back. If consumers are not able to withdraw money for a certain period of time, they may accept additional fees. What does a cashless society look like? In a cashless society, payments happen electronically. Instead of using paper, currency, and coins, we use technology and digital transactions. These transactions may be between two individuals or businesses. According to the International Monetary Fund, universal basic income refers to monthly cash transfers provided to a given population with limited to no conditions for getting the money to increase people's wages. Their key function is to help e-commerce online, allow purchases, reduce their prices, or substitute retail cash and coin payments. Logistics are under development for a cashless society. There are some hints to take a look at a cashless society. The use of e-money as an electronic payment instrument as an alternative payment instrument was found to have been beneficial, particularly for micropayment and retail nature. This will increase money circulation in the economy, which also implies increased money velocity. Two types of cards are used nowadays, namely debit and credit cards. Cards are not enough to cover all the transactions. Mobile devices are a primary tool for payments. Every payment gateway provides an app to handle all kinds of transactions. Like PayPal, Payoneer, Zelle, Venmo mobile wallets provide easy, secure, and cash-free payments. Like Apple Pay in many countries, mobile payments are becoming very popular and made mobile a useful carrier of virtual money. The technology that plays an important role to start a new future horizon is blockchain. Through this technology, cryptocurrencies come into existence. Cryptocurrencies brought innovation in money transfer and virtual currencies of the economy. It reduced the costs of transactions with a decentralized approach. Although there are hurdles in the use, the future is bright for them. Let's look at an example. Sweden. It's not uncommon to see signs that say "no cash accepted" in Swedish shops. According to the European Payment Council, cash transactions accounted for just 1% of Sweden's GDP in 2019, and cash withdrawals declined by about 10% a year. We expect a similar cashless society in the future. Would you like to become a part of a cashless society? Express your thoughts in the comments below. For more interesting topics like this one, smash the like button and subscribe to the channel.